Why are mantras kept secret? So you will hear this phenomenon that there are certain initiations and the guru will give a mantra, and he usually requests the student to keep that mantra a secret. And the public at large wonders why, is this kept secret? If you didn't know, in the field, especially of yoga science, this is something quite common. So in this video, I'll discuss my perspectives on it. I would like to ask you a great favor. If you like the contents of my video, please, I would ask you a big favor, please. It would do my channel a great favor if you could like, subscribe, and also don't forget to also share even to just one person, because this will greatly enhance the reach of my videos and to be able to go out and my message to reach out to many people that I feel needs the type of information that's contained in all my videos. And for those who don't know me, I am Osman. I'm a bioenergy healer um, on a master level with telepathic healing capabilities and specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses. Also amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments, especially alleviating the adverse effects of involuntary Kundalini awakening. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having been practicing this art for almost 50 years and teaching for 44 years. And in that period, I've studied under various masters under different schools of thought from different cultures across the globe. And to that end, I now have students in over 100 countries. I've gleaned out the what I felt to be the most important and potent aspects of all my studies and practices and experience, and formulated and been refining my protocols over the decades. And my favorite protocol is the 5-minute yoga and meditation program, which you can download for free from my website, yogawellness786.com, where you can also get more information about my services. Please remember, my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. So, originally when I used to, hear, people who were initiated, and usually the guru will initiate them publicly in a special ritual ceremony, and he will whisper the mantra into their ear, and they are vowed to secrecy. This is how it usually happens traditionally in the old days. So I'm from the 1960s. So I don't know. Now it's 2025. I don't hear of such things anymore. And I hear mantras being thrown left, right, and center and published in books and so forth. So, firstly, the giving of the mantra to the student during the initiation process, as it denotes, is to initialize something, right? So what they're initializing is the spiritual power. So the person who's doing the initiation, the guru or the teacher, he's got certain advanced level spiritual power due to extensive practice and discipline, and he has the ability to be able to transfer some of his power into the student, which activates the dormant power in that student. So that guru also, he also has been having a discipline of reciting maybe a certain mantra or mantras, and he acquired the power of that mantra or higher levels, of that mantra, and it has a certain spiritual power that develops over time. So he transmits together with this power into the student, including all the power. So his power that the teacher has as is got, like, it's not like a separate power for the separate power for the. It's all together in his life force. It's a combined. So he's giving everything to the student, and part of it is the power that he acquired with reciting his mantras or whatever it is, right? Or a singular mantra, right? Usually it's a multiple mantras, and all his discipline practices and so forth. So he usually will instruct his student into a certain disciplined practice, right? So this is relating to the mantra as well. So just bear with me. So maybe he has a certain pranayama sequence, a certain hatha yoga sequence, and a certain meditation sequence, and a certain discipline practice that he does at a certain time. That discipline is all, crumpled together and becomes part of his spiritual power. Because when you're consistently doing something, you gain certain type of momentum. And in the in with regard to actions that are designed to develop your power in the quantum energy field, it it gains quantum energy power, and that's what gets transferred. So when he's transferring, he's giving the, together with it, the through his verbally transferring, and his mind, his will, through his will, importantly through his will. He doesn't have to say it, because a guru can initiate someone. You can just sit and think and initiate, transfer his energy, like how we do telepathic energy transference, right? So he's making it verbally, because the student must be able to recognize clearly, with no doubt, what are the instructions, and what are, what are the mantras that's coming with that instruction. It comes like a package deal. So it's like you've got this little package, and it includes, a little bit of this, and included for free is this, and included for free is that, and included for free is that. And guess what? You also get this for free, and that for free, and that for free. It's like, like the Oprah show, or online. You purchase a certain program, you're getting this for free, you're getting that for free, you're getting this for free, you're getting that for free. Like that, in the rich in the spiritual initialization is getting also the guru, all what the teacher, combine, energies, is getting these things as well. The guru is giving him the information what he feels from all. Maybe the guru is reciting about 4 or 5 mantras. He feels that, let him start with this mantra, right? He doesn't tell him everything. He doesn't want to overwhelm the student. So the student is getting the secret of all the mantras what the guru recited, right? But the guru is only revealing to him the one which he needs to focus on initially. Because if you get a program, there's like about 15 things there. You say, okay, start with this part of the program, don't worry about the other part. It's going to deviate your attention. So it allows the student to do step by step. So with the mantra that he's saying, keep it secret, because now he didn't just get the mantra verbally, he got the mantra together with the power of the discipline practice that the guru probably, had practiced, or the teacher had practiced for decades, right? 30, 40, 50 decades, maybe, right? Or at least 20, 30 decades, right? People who are able to initialize spirituality in other people are practicing, for a while. And he tells the student to keep it a secret, because the student needs to harness the power of it, and if he starts giving it out verbally, it's not like something he read in a book, because now he received it through the quantum field, right? So when he gives it out, he's giving it out together with the power that he received, and he may lose that initial, you won't lose all the power, of course, because this is life force energy, but you lose a lot of the momentum. It will dilute it considerably, by 90% dilution, maybe even 99% dilution, by just telling other people. This is firstly, he doesn't want the person to dilute it. He wants the person, the full power. If you keep it a secret and develop it, let it gain some traction and strength. Because the student now, he just got the seed. He needs to develop the seed. It's going to take him, like how his master took, like, a decade or two to reach the maturity levels, the high maturity levels, right? Not that it's going to need decades, right? Because in a few days you can start feeling, the power, maybe even from the first day. But let it mature, don't just dilute it. Let it mature in you. So this is the first thing. The reason why, they say to keep the mantra. Say there's not some conspiracy theory, right? So the second reason why they will ask, for the mantra to be kept a secret, so that, because it, now you don't just have the mantra verbally, you also have it with a lot of power, right? That the teacher who gave it, he also gave the power to you. He willed, some of the power to come to you. or a lot of the power to come to you for that mantra. So when you are giving it to another person, you don't know people, you don't have your third eye open, you can't analyze people, you don't have clairvoyance, you don't have clairsentience, you can't see what he may do with this in the future. A lot of people, they are not a lot, nearly every person, they are moving around with masks, right? They are not showing the true self. It is only when you get to know them, very carefully and for a long period of time and intimately, that who they really are. Because very often, I mean, you always say nice from far, but far from nice, right? And so many relationships, I mean, you fall in love with the person and it's such amazing, but then you get into it and then you living together and all hell breaks loose. You see a side of people, the inner side. So you don't know what people have, what negativity they have. And the mantra is going to bring about mystical powers, and maybe that person is going to misuse those mystical powers in ignorance, right? So when you misuse, whenever you do try to do some harm to anyone in the world. This is dealing with the quantum field, right? Whatever goes around comes around. It's going to likely cause more harm to that person, than good. But the main reason is that not to give it to people that may misuse it, right? This is the second reason. So to avoid misuse of the power that comes with the mantra, right? And then the third reason is that the mantra, every mantra has got rules and regulations, right? If you don't follow those rules and regulations in some of the mantras, it can be harmful to the practitioner. So you just give it to anyone, people who are interested in mystical experiences, and going to meditation retreats, and once searching out OBEs, out of body experiences. And so these are experience searchers, right? They don't have the discipline to practice the certain restrictions for the certain that comes with that mystical practice, and as a result it may be harmful to that practitioner, and then this is something negative, right? So very typically, people very broadly and widely, they want mystical experience, they're seeking out initiate, they're seeking out what is this thing. I want to find myself, and be able to see the difference between myself, my mind, and my body, and have out of body experience, and know what is the purpose of life, and so forth, and just jump into certain retreats, meditation retreats, and come out of it greatly harmed, right? So there are certain organizations already created to cater to remedy the harm that was inflicted on people who suddenly awakened certain quantum levels of energy within themselves, and it started to create adverse psychological and physical, and uh, 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 actually migraine headaches, and crashing, can't function in society. They leave their careers, they leave their jobs after that experience. They say, okay, I feel this is now no longer my purpose, and they leave their current work, and they cannot no longer afford to sustain themselves in that current level or lifestyle, and they have to go backwards and go back to their parents, or go back to cheaper accommodations and so forth, and try to find themselves, and then just to survive, take any type of menial work, right? I mean, everyone needs to survive. So it destroys even the career, it destroys the social life, their relationships. This is harmful. And you also get part of the contribution towards, not the only contribution, where people getting into these mystical practices, the uh, involuntary kundalini awakenings, that goes way wrong. When it goes wrong, it goes way wrong, right? And there's not a few people, hundreds, plural, hundreds of thousands of people who are suffering with adverse effects of involuntary kundalini awakening, right? So they've woken it with some of these mystical practices, right? Which the mantra is part of the mystical practices, just like meditation. So yes, meditation, you learn it in a book, you learn it online, from a recording, or you learn a few basic steps. Is different from learning it from someone who's been practicing for a long time, and you go and practice with them. When you hear it from that person, through his mouth is coming not only words, is coming the power of his practice as well. That when you hear it from that person, suddenly you practice it. I'll give you one example. I had a French couple, young couple. uh, they were about 22 years old, and the lady was amazing, totally, from France, and never in her life would even imagine something like meditation, ultra modern type of woman, young lady, and was busy traveling and trying to experience the different cultures, and as young people want to just travel and go to multiple countries and doing crazy things. They were hitchhiking, and they were sleeping in tents in the wilderness, right? And there's wild animals, right? There are wild dogs that can eat you in the wilderness when you are traveling. It's dangerous. And of course, you're traveling with a beautiful young woman, like that, and you yourself, a young man, 22 years old. I really, question, the sanity of these people, because there are some dangerous people out there, that in isolation, they will come rob, and they will definitely, gang rape her. The risk of that happening is like greater than 50%, greater, probably around 80%, if you are exposing yourself, and staying, intense in lonely spaces, just you and a young man and a young woman. So it was this couple, right? So the man was very spiritually inclined, and he was interested in chakra and blocking, and was very into the yoga, and so, and I was offering, as I usually do, a free yoga and meditation classes, and it's on basic level, to get people inspired into it. So when I'm teaching the yoga classes, right, I'm teaching now for 44 years, and I'm getting students from, all countries, all walks of life, because when I travel, I try to find any location to offer my classes for free, because I feel I want people to, more and more people, to understand the power of this, how it can, be so amazing and so helpful in your life, especially the basic levels, right? But I never had an experience in my life where any student didn't, after the first time in their life they came to my lesson, and didn't come out feeling a difference. And they've seen this, they've tried practicing it previously, but they didn't have the profoundness of experience as they usually had with me, because I'm practicing for almost 5 decades myself. So some of my energy goes into my teaching, right? When even on basic level. So this woman, um, boyfriend was interested in the advanced levels and so forth, and he encouraged her to also, because to be initialized as well, and she was keen for it, but she was skeptical, and she came to it, and you know uh, halfway through the but she's initialization is initialization, right? So whether half, there's no half done is never done with initialization. You just make the intention alone, it's, and you start the process, and the transference begins. And it affected her very profoundly, right? Because it was unblocking and clearing the negative, especially when I do chakra unblocking for or clearing, aligning the the energy centers, for women especially. What comes out very frequently, and where what is not very uncommon, is a lot of pent up emotions and depression, and they always sobbing, when it's clearing their heart, so. And with men, a lot of aggression comes out. They feel like, I say, tell me what you're feeling, tell me what you're feeling, because I want to know, what they are feeling, so I know what emotions are coming out. So a lot of them, is not uncommon to say, oh, I feel very, tense, and I feel angry, and I said, no, it will pass. Just go with it, because this is what I'm doing. I'm removing what's in, the harmful parts of it, which are blocking their way of success and progress, in life, as well as, in mystical progress as well. So with her, and she turned around and she said, if anything, even before that experience, It's the first time in her life she even considered the word meditation. She never even would have considered it before in her life. And the first time that on her own, she wanted to practice it, and she practiced it and felt good about it, And the one good thing that I did is never in her life would she have thought, that she will, take up such a practice, but she took it up, in a very gentle level, just to sit calmly and relaxed, and she was feeling peaceful and she enjoyed that. She never had that experience before, you know. So it was just due to me speaking and just trying to, initialize. And this was before the initialization, she said that, right? Just by speaking about it, you get transference of that. So as I'm speaking to you through these videos, you're not getting the full power of my energy because it's a recorded video, but still the recording records the nuances of how I'm uttering, my message, and with the conviction with which that conviction's coming with my, decades of experience, is going to influence and impact you because I'm speaking from my heart, right? So similarly with the mantras, it comes like this, right? And this is some of the reasons. There are many other reasons why, but some of the major reasons which I feel, in my opinion, why mantras are kept secret, right? And also, before you delve into, mantras, mantras available, right? You can go into a book. It's relatively safe because you don't have the power for it. You are, still a neophyte level, and the harmfulness is minimized. But you'd never know what level of spirituality you are in. Many people are on high levels of spirituality due to regular, just having a disciplined practice of routine, going to the gym, or maybe they like reading certain types of things, or maybe they listen to someone, and accidentally they got initialized, right? Just by listening to someone who is highly initial, or just being in the company of someone they didn't know is, highly initialized, and being in the aura, could have, somewhat initialized you. So suddenly you start, reciting these things without the observances and the rules. It is written you must do this very casually, right? It's written, and it's not saying warning, don't, make sure you must follow this. If you don't follow this, so much of harm can come. Nothing like that is written. They say this, and it's recommended that you mustn't do this, right? So, and then you'll get the benefit of it, huh? And people start doing it, and they start getting harm, right? So because this is delving into the quantum energy field, and it's a field that is much greater than the entire created universe that we can perceive, because what we perceive is the matter level, and there is also within the matter level that's being held together, and in conjunction with the matter is mixed the wave level, which you can't see with the naked eye, but there are waves also, and energy also, together with this created, whatever created universe that we can see, right? The entire. So above that, superior to that, is another frequency called the quantum level. There are many levels. The quantum field of energy, quantum physics research has affirmed that they are convinced that there are 11 levels of frequencies, 11 dimensions, and we are on the third dimension as we are, existing now currently in the physical world. Is the third dimensions, and there are now 8 dimensions higher. The next one up is the quantum, and it's far greater than everything that is what we can perceive now in our current range of perception, or the common current range of perception of the common people, right? So you are going into a totally different world. It's got different rules, and you don't understand it, right? And it's like you're putting your finger into fire. We say don't put your finger in the fire, it's going to get burned. But the child puts it and burns himself, right? And he can burn himself, depends what type of fire. You can burn his clothes, and maybe he's got flammable material on him. So this means maybe he's initialized, right? Which is, you can relate it to, flammable, being doused in flammable, substances, and you touch even a spark of a flame, boom, it's going to light you and destroy you, right? Just a simple mistake and you just want to experiment. So these things carry with it dangers that can be way dangerous. You cannot imagine how deep and what level of danger you can expose yourself to, right? I've over the decades came across many people who have, great practitioners, who are very close to me, and great practitioners of the science, and they started to experiment into things, because they felt they became all powerful, right? So I'm practicing for decades. I am very wary and cautious, and I always take the role that I know nothing, because this field is too great. If as soon as I feel I know something, right, then I got some type of ego, it can destroy me, because this is a total different field, and I've seen so many people they lose their life, lost their life, young age, lost their life, dead, right, and practicing yoga and meditation, dead, fatal, right, fatal mistake that they made. How can you make a mistake and say something and then it cause death to you? This is what this field is. So hope that information helps you, and take care of yourself always.